We didn't play a lot of shows for about a year, and then we started working on a record, and then this tour happened, and we were like very excited that people want us to come over and play Source Tags and Codes.
We hadn't been to Europe in like 3 years, which for us that's a long time. Generally, we have a cycle of making and releasing a record every like 18 months or so. We've been working on our first record in almost 5 years, and we took a break to go out and play a couple of records from the previous iterations, and it's nice that we are able to figure that out now and sort it out.
Our first show was in 1995.
You know, I know these bands that they are not friends. They're just a professional relationship, and that to me seems strange, because I think without a friendship, well, what's the point of like making music together, enjoying time on the road, you know, together?
I don't know, with him and I, we've known each other since high school, so there's definitely this sibling sort of thing.
We never fight or anything.
We never fight, just Greco-Roman wrestling.
You know, I think it's the camaraderie that you know, helps being a part of a band. For me, the previous interview we had, people were saying, you know, asking us when was it that we knew we wanted to play music, but I think it's because we have to. I think for us, it's not necessarily that we want to do it, we have to do it. We have to be in a band together. We have to be civil with each other. We have to love each other and create. That's just what we're supposed to do. That's part of our life. It's like just as much as I have to do anything else in my life, I have to like make music in this band. It's not an option. Even if I didn't want to, which I do, I have to do it. And that's the best thing. It's a positive thing when you know that this is integrated into just your essence of your very being, is to make music with these guys.
Well, I think frustration is always a good fuel for any fire, you know, frustration, but that frustration can change depending on what, you know, your life circumstances are and can be. The album that we made before the last one was actually one of the more angrier sounding records that we'd made, you know. That was our 8th album.
I don't feel like we were really angry at the time, but we were speaking out about a lot of social unrest and political upheaval that now probably speaks even truer than it did at the time. Little did we know that that was kind of foreshadowing an even more like tumultuous time in the world. But I think any time that Conrad said, our records are kind of informed by whatever we have in the forefront of our minds, whether it's personal or political.
There's no method, really. I like to write about landscapes and places that I'm traveling a lot, so that's always something that I try to bring that so that when people listen to the lyrics or read them, they kind of are transported to somewhere else.
Lyrically, we're just kind of like obviously trying to connect with something in our lives and put it out there in a poetic manner. It's hard to like say that, you know, we're doing it consciously. It's just kind of who we are, the way we write, you know.
I think this new record's gonna be pretty personal too.
Yeah.
I think a good way to keep lyrics personal is just to keep having really bad breakups.
Right.
The audience are kind of co-writers of the music.
You know, our music is supposed to reflect what we're going through and on our experiences. We never overthink it. And also, we've never really tried to become part of a genre or a part of another movement or anything that would pigeonhole what we do as a band or with the kind of music we make. So that has the freedom to continue to evolve as we evolve. I would never blame music. I think music, if anything, has the opposite effect. It draws people to you, and it also is the outlet for all the things that are negative, you know? You can rely upon music to be there as your comfort and your expression. I always feel like a student. I mean, I'm learning stuff all the time about things that I've always wanted to learn, about technology and recording and stuff. There are a lot of things that I took for granted when I was younger, when we started recording, because I always figured, oh, the producer will figure it out. We got an engineer, they do that. But now I'm getting to the point where like, well, I want to know how it works. I want to know what compressors do and what names of all these microphones. And that never stops. I've always idolized, you know, Andre Segovia, the great classical guitarist, because it seemed like he was just always progressing and getting better and better as he got older, up into his 80s and stuff. Rock is going through some hard times, admittedly. It's been around for a long time. It's become a caricature of itself in many ways. I think the most important thing for it is to feel like it's continuing to evolve. My greatest fear is that it'll become codified in some way, that rock has to sound like it did in the 70s or 60s or even 80s and 90s. I think that if that happens, then rock will die. But if we can create a rock and say, hey, what's rock going to sound like in 2020s, you know? Then it can continue to be poignant, you know?
I'm a primitivist. I want it to stay pretty primal and stupid.
It could be futuristic stupidity.
Well, that's kind of like the dynamic that we have. I think, you know, ultimately there's always these the push and pull and of like having something that is looking forward but also an homage to the past, and then there's things that we're trying to do to push our boundaries and also to stay within parameters that really work. So I think that tension works.
Gang.
If anyone is the future of stupid, is us.
Right.
We
We are
are
the
the future
Trail
of
of Dead,
Stupid.
the future of stupid.